What up, Dokkanners? The conversations on Global have been few and far between ever since the Android 1718 Dokkan Festival has released. It's either about how bad the banner is, or it has been all about this thing right here, Super Dokkan. What the heck is this? Why the heck is this? And what could this mean? I think it has to do with full synchro. Some of you disagree, which is totally fine. I think it's hilarious that people still think that there is no way something could happen because it is illogical. I mean, the fact that full synchro took as long as it did to finally get that release window should be proof enough that Dokkan isn't afraid to do the most illogical, crazy, nonsensical things ever. And I remember when we first got the announcement for full synchro back during Worldwide last year, I said my very first gut prediction was Worldwide Download 2024. People laughed me out of the room. And where are we now? Oh yeah, around summer of 2024. So just because it seems crazy doesn't mean it necessarily is. So you shouldn't be so quick to just write it off. So in this video, I'm going to give you a more well thought out reasoning as to why I think this is going to be full synchro related. I'm going to give you like the whole structure of the rest of the year for global and show you how I think this pieces together for worldwide download full synchro. Ultimately, this could end up being just something like missions for a Ribrianne free ticket summon, which is going to make me laugh and kind of cry if that happens. And if it is, so be it. But I would still like the theory craft because I think it's fun. So let me know your thoughts, your theories in the comments down below. Let's dive in here. So my theory is centered around the premise that these tickets are essentially Global's Tanabata tickets for the year. Because if you remember, as we approach full synchro, which is going to be at some point in the summer, I think it's going to be worldwide download. A lot of ifs here. But if this is the full synchro destination, that means that by the time we get here, JP would have celebrated their Tanabata celebration. Global gets their Tanabata celebration during the holiday season, which is December, November, December. So that's no longer going to be a thing. If our schedules are going to be unified, that means Global has to have the anniversary at the same time as JP. They have to have Tanabata at the same time as JP. They have to have all other celebrations at the same time as JP. So that means we cannot get a holiday celebration with the thank you unit and the anniversary units. That's not going to happen anymore. So what we just had back in 2023, that was the final time that you will see something like this in the holiday season time slot. So where would that fit in for global if we are going to be jumping into full synchro by the summertime? That is the basis for my theory that these ticket missions are going to actually end up being Tanabata tickets that we get exclusively for this 1 year as a Super Dokkan thing. And then when we switch over to the, the new timeline, the new 52, the new retcon, the Dokkan rebirth, then we will have the same Tanabata schedule as JP. We might not even have this asset anymore. Or maybe this will be what we call Tanabata celebrations for global moving forward. Instead of calling it Tanabata, because culturally it makes no sense to us, we might just call it Super Dokkan. That might be what it is. Maybe that's, yeah. Honestly, that's a pretty good idea right there. So that is why I think we are going to be slowly getting these missions over the next few celebrations to ultimately build up that traction, that momentum, that hype, that intrigue as we approach the worldwide full synchro, and right before that, the Tanabata. So let me go through what I think is going to happen here. I have some placeholder Dokkan festivals and legendaries, so don't freak out. This is not me confirming anything. I'm gonna laugh if even a single one of these guesses end up being true. I'm simply just writing these down for the sake of this diagram. So I've got the next 6 months here on the left. I've got Global and JP up at the top here. And so this is what we've got coming up. So for the month of February, Global's got Androids and Ribrianne. JP's got the 9-year anniversary, Broly Gogeta, Cellmax and Beast Gohan. We don't know if that's confirmed, so there's a question mark. Although it is looking very, very likely. Then in March, we will be jumping into the Gohan Piccolo Dokkan Festival on Global, while JP makes their first step into the next Dokkan Festival after the 9-year anniversary. I just threw in Zarbon, all right? Just relax. It's not confirmed. I have this running meme where I am convinced that Zarbon will eventually be Dokkan Festival, and I'm gonna just, go ahead and play into that. So Zarbon right here for JP's Dokkan Festival. So at this point, you would think that Global would have gained a little bit of ground on JP, but they don't, because with one new Dokkan Festival that Global gets, JP gets one as well. So the deficit remains the same. We are still behind. Then at the end of March, the second half of March, instead of a part 2 legendary summon for this guy, we will jump into a simultaneous celebration with JP for Saiyan Day. So we'll call Saiyan Day King Vegeta for the sake of this diagram. King Vegeta will be acquired on both versions, so there's no catching up gained right there. Then as we go into April, Global will have the dual Dokkan Festival Super Saiyan 3 and Hirudegarn. So you would think that we would catch up here, but no, JP would then get their next Dokkan Festival. We'll just go ahead and call it Trunks. No, I don't know how to read. Gotenks, right? Gotenks will be here. Global has a filler in the part 2 time slot for this April Dokkan Festival. This could be a great opportunity to let Global catch up, but based on what we've seen from Dokkan, they don't want to do that. They just want to keep things simple and be as illogical as possible. I have a feeling that this will somehow, some way, still remain a filler banner with all of the ground that we have to cover to make up for this deficit. I think we will still have a filler banner during April, and JP will get another new unit over on Global by getting a Kaba or some legendary summon. I threw in Kaba here because last year it was Super Buu in slot 2 or part 2, and it was Kere in part 1. There's no correlation between them. So these two are also a nice like random pair. Then as we go into Golden Week in May, that is when we will have simultaneous Dokkan festivals. So this obviously will not change. Both versions will get the same stuff. I threw on Blue Kaioken, Goku, and Hit. Don't think too much into it. I'm just putting it there. I would like for it to be this because this would be cool as sort of a precursor to the Tournament of Power being worldwide download. Golden Frieza in part 2. I don't know. I just came up with something. Then we go into June. So now finally Global is getting something that JP already had, Zarbon, from back in March that JP received. Global finally gets Zarbon and Kaba, right? Kaba is the only legendary summon that Global doesn't have besides the 9-year anniversary at this point. And then JP jumps into their next Dokkan Festival and they get their new fresh, crazy base Goku, right? And then their part 2 is LR Super Saiyan Goku. This is sort of a meme because, you know, eventually we got to get another base Goku. It's been far too long since we've had a base Goku. It's been 5 minutes. Then we go into July. So now Global is in the 9-year anniversary. So now Global is basically caught up in terms of the major celebration, the 9-year anniversary. We also got Kaba and Zarbon. So we've gained some significant ground. All that we've got left are Gotenks and Goku and Super Saiyan Goku. But then when we get into the 9-year, JP gets into the Tanabata celebration, Super Vegito and Buhan. This is a big celebration. So while Global has all of this stuff to celebrate, JP's gonna have all this. How can Global possibly catch up to JP with all of these Dokkan festivals and all of these luxury summons all left on the table, right? Look at that. We're here now. This is where we are in the timeline. The only thing left between now and worldwide download is this pre-worldwide download Dokkan Festival Trap celebration. This was home to Raditz. This was home to... Who was the Trap banner last year? I don't remember. Who cares? So, you know, this is pretty much all that's left between anniversary and worldwide download. And if worldwide download is going to be full synchro, then it has to be right here that we have the final catch-up. This is what I mentioned in my previous video, and this is how I propose that it could work now. At this point, we are missing Zarbon. Although, actually, we're not. We're not missing Zarbon, so that is straight up wrong. So let me go ahead and just remove that. That is not true at all. We just had Zarbon. So we would have Gotenks, Goku, Super Vegito, and Raditz, right? Those are the remaining Dokkan festivals that we have yet to get on Global. So Gotenks, Goku, Super Vegito, and the current celebration that JP has. Obviously, this celebration will be much better on Global than it will on JP, but that's the nature of the beast. You can't disrupt the JP schedule at all. JP's not going to be adjusting their schedule to accommodate us. We're the younger child. We're the forgotten child, right? So we have to join up to their schedule. So this will be the catch-up celebration to end all celebrations. Gotenks, Goku, Super Vegito, and Raditz. We will not only have the Tanabata, but we will also have every other Dokkan Festival that we've missed. And this is a 2-week time slot, as is any Dokkan Festival release, right? So instead of making it a 2-week thing, it's going to be a 1-week thing. For 1 week, you will have access to the Dokkan Festival catch-ups using those tickets that you earned all throughout the previous celebrations leading up to this point. And then 1 week into this celebration, for the second half, we will then have all of the remaining legendary summons, the luxury summons that happened all the way leading up until this point: Kaba, Super Saiyan Goku, and Buhan. This will be our ticket to fully catching up with JP as they just have the Raditz, they will notice over on global, these global players are hyperventilating with all of these new units that are dropping. And then as we go into September, we will activate full synchro and we will achieve perfect cross fusion between global and JP. I think that this works when you consider how psychotic Dokkan has been and how illogical they've been. Instead of making it a gradual, steady transition, it's going to be an abrupt, really, really fast, shockingly, stupid catch-up banner in August. It's going to put a lot of strain on people because people are probably going to feel tempted to summon on this. This is the mega trap. This is a trap on ultra super steroids, right? If you would want to summon, this would be a good banner to summon on strictly just based on the value. You got the Tanabata in there, you got Dokkan festivals in there, you got the carnivals and all this stuff in here, all while JP just has one unit. This would be a pretty great place to summon. But the problem is for global, you are in between major celebrations. So this is where it's going to be tough. 9 years going to be right there. This would be right here. Again, all this is my theory. Catch-up celebration right here. Worldwide download is going to be here. And then just a few months after all of this, global will then have their next anniversary. We will have in July 9 year, and then in January, we will have the 10-year anniversary. So global players are going to be bleeding through the wallets. By then, everything will be perfectly synchronized. We will have the celebration all lined up and we will be good to go. Why would this help? Because these tickets will help alleviate some of the strain that could come from having to do these summons. Maybe you want to summon on the catch-up banner, but you don't have the means to do so. Maybe they're aware of that fact because it is between two major celebrations. So in order to help players out, even though we get a bunch of stones during 9 year and a bunch of stones during worldwide, maybe they have a heart for a change and they want to give you an opportunity to summon on other stuff without burning those extra stones. These tickets could do that. So that is why I think this still works. It's crazy, but we've seen crazier things. You might be thinking, Toon, why the heck would they do this to us with back-to-back banners in back-to-back weeks? I'll tell you why. You think this is crazy? Do you remember what happened during the movie collaboration stuff? The Gammas dropped on global October 28th. What dropped a week before that? The Halloween banner with Majin Vegeta coming back for the first time. And then 2 weeks before that, we had the Pan Dokkan Festival drop after the worldwide download had concluded. Dokkan is not afraid to drop banners within 1 week time spans. So that precedent has already been set and therefore does not work as a way to counter this theory right here. I think that this is a logical, airtight way to see how the rest of the year goes for global. But hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many things in the past. Not so much about stuff recently, but I have been wrong in the past. So if you don't buy any of this, that is totally fine. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. I just think that this works. And if I get just one of these Dokkan festivals or LRs, I will call that a win. I just randomly thought of these. I thought of joke characters that people would laugh at. Everybody laughs at my King Vegeta theory, which is fine. That's the whole point. Everybody laughs at my Zarbon theory. That's the whole point. I've never mentioned Gotenks or Kaba, maybe ever. Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, everybody gets that. That's always the vibe. And Vegito Buhan, we want to have that at some point, so why not throw them in there? So this is all just, this is all fan service. It's all fan theories and fan service. Anyway, I'm done. I'm out. I'm tired. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with what I'm saying here. Does this make sense to you? Does this seem like a logical way to plan out the rest of Global's remaining content before we join up with JP? Or do you think there's a little bit more nuance to it? Let me know your own theories. If you have your own set of ideas and structure, I would love to see that in the comments down below. Lay it on me. Just tell me everything that you're thinking. What will this celebration be? What will that celebration be? How will Global get to where JP is before we get to 9 year even? If you think it's going to be happening before 9 year, let me know. All that stuff in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you literally know when I see more of my stuff. All right. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.